I just returned from the depths of the Colombian jungle on a fishing trip chasing peacock bass and payara vampire fish. We're going to do a little rundown on the gear I had with me, what I took, what I used, what I might not use that I did take, and things I would definitely take next time and other stuff I might leave at home. So we're going to start off here. This is a Yeti Panga backpack. I used it as my carry-on and to carry all my camera gear and as my fishing bag once we got to camp. So on the front here is the FHF gear chest rig. It's the new version with the waterproof zipper, and it's waterproof itself. I didn't run it on the front here as a carry-on. I used this once we got to camp. So I got these buckles here, so it just comes on and off quite easily. So don't really have anything in it right now, just the shoulder straps so you can wear it as a chest pack. So I ran it like that once we got to camp, used that extra camera gear in it, and made stuff that I wanted easily and quickly accessible. So on the shoulder strap here we have the cotton carrier strap shot. I never leave home without this. Even if I don't have a backpack, I know I'm going on a boat. I've strapped it to certain places on boats before, like when I'm floating down the river on certain rafts or drift boats. Sometimes there's a spot for it to keep your camera quickly accessible. So, dive into here. Love this backpack. First time using it was this trip, and completely waterproof. Really carries a lot, and was able to make a nice build in here to pack everything I needed. So sunglasses, I did bring a hard case to keep them protected. These are just some natives. They worked well. I threw in an air tag it was actually my check bag on the way home, just to keep track of my stuff in case it didn't get there. So this is the water housing I took with me. It is a Iwa Marine. It just has this clamp in this bag. It worked well, no complaints at all. It's obviously a little bit more of a budget one, but didn't need anything real fancy for going down there. Just wanted to get some underwater clips. Brought my toiletry bag with me and the FHF small Synergy bag. These Synergy bags are awesome for organization when going on big trips like this or out in the field. I use them for everything. You'll be seeing a lot of them. So one thing that I did for this trip, I took vitamin B1 2 weeks before in the morning. It's an upper, but it's supposed to help with your reaction to bug bites, and it seemed to have helped me down there. And then I also started taking my allergy medication that I'd take in the summertime in Montana. Started taking that before I went down in case there was any pollen that would affect me down there. So didn't have any problems with pollen. And then mosquitoes, no-see-ums and bugs weren't as bad as anticipated, but they still got to you. So in the next size up Synergy bag, we have all the extra camera gear, a little puffer, ND filter, remote trigger, some lens spray, and charging cords. In another Synergy bag with the orange panels, so I knew which one's which, we have the headlamp and the Garmin InReach I took with me so I could text my mother every night from camp. That always makes her happy. And then GoPro. I always keep my GoPro in a koozie. Keeps it quickly accessible, keeps the lens from scratching. Took some time lapses on it. It's real easy to set up for that. And then I took 2 of these Fujifilm disposable film cameras. They're pretty fun to keep in the pocket and just shoot some random things with. And then a Scout Last Lights phone charger. Joby little mini tripod. I used this a couple times. I'd take it again for sure. In this small orange paneled FHF Synergy bag, we had batteries. I did a little electrical tape over the element. for plane travel. It's just a precaution. Learned that tip from Stephen Drake. So don't check your batteries, keep them with you in your backpack. So these worked out perfect. This is what Sony lenses come in for my G Master 2.8 24-70. So I use them to carry lenses. This one is the This one is the 24-240 f3 to 6.3. Gives you a lot of range, very versatile lens, still decent quality, and a really good budget lens. I'm filming with the 24-70 G Master Gen 2 2.8, along with, it's on the A7 IV body with a Sony mic. And then in this one, we had the other Sony A7 IV. Both my A7 IVs have the cotton carrier handle strap shot, and the universal tripod adapter. So you can still put your camera on a tripod and also have it so it locks into your cotton carrying system at the same time. So highly suggest the cotton carriers. I've never used a neck strap. I just use those nice cotton carrier straps, and super easy to use. So everything that came in the Yeti backpack, I would 100% take again. It's the essential stuff that, if I got down there and my check bag didn't make it, I was going to be able to still document the trip and everything. This is just the case for the Sony mic. Samyang 18mm 2.8. It's not a very sharp lens, but it's a good perspective lens. It's cheap, $200, something like that. Passport, that was the first thing I packed. Extra lens cloth, Sharpie, never leave home without a Sharpie, and then some of that horse wrap sticks to itself bandaging. That was good for blisters and wrapping the fingers for stripping flies. And then I did throw in a pair of Stone Glacier de Havilland lights and another thin long sleeve shirt in my bag, like I said, in case the check bag was lost and got to camp, needed to use them. So I used the de Havilland lights for travel and around Bogota, and then I used the Stone Glacier 206, their new lightweight pant, for fishing. Dried super fast, was super happy with it. They don't have the zippers on the sides, just a small crotch zipper. And I wasn't sure, I love the vertical zips of the de Havilland lights, but those 206 were perfect and for this trip. And then Right in the Rain journal for some film notes and stuff like that. So that's a rundown on what I had on the Yeti Panga and my carry-on. So we'll pack it back up real quick and show you what's in the check bag. Alright, so we'll start out with this. This is just a 3-inch PVC pipe that I made a rod holder out of. I clamped on a nice handle here, and let me tell you, the roll of duct tape that was in this suitcase came in clutch, because when I was coming home, I dropped it and I shattered the lid. So I had to duct tape the crap out of it to keep this lid on. So otherwise I might not have been able to continue to get it home. When I came through immigrations in Dallas, you had to grab your bag and recheck your bag. And I dropped it, shattered the lid, pulled the duct tape out from the check bag, and got her all fixed up. So I put a sock in each end for padding, and then put it in a rod sleeve, just my spin rod that I had down there. I went down with a spin rod and a fly rod. So this spin rod is a Okuma SST 8.6 medium action 8-17. It's a steelhead spin rod. It worked great. I caught an 18-pounder on it for my big fish, and then quite a few over 10, and it was easy to throw around. I'm not familiar with the bait caster, so spin rod it was for me. But I spent most of the time on the fly. Let's dive into what we got in the check bag. So in the Synergy extra large bags from FHF. I had like extra pants, extra t-shirts, extra long sleeves, underwear, a hoodie, and a mid-weight long sleeve. So in here we also have an extra chest rig, and I bought this and I packed some random things in it. The Montana Knife Company Speed Goat. My guide used this to cut my fishing line quite a bit actually, since he didn't have any nippers, so I left my nippers with him, but he was digging the knife, so we let him use the Montana Knife Company knife. Gloves, these little half finger gloves, essential, keeping the bugs and the sun off you, and then for stripping your fly, and a buff. If you didn't have a buff or two, this is my new favorite buff. It's just an NRS buff, but it has little holes in the front so you could actually pull it up to over your nose and not have your glasses fog up. And that was a game changer, keeping the sun and the bugs off your nose. Then my spin rod reel was packed in there as well. So I had 2 of those chest rigs with me. I wore one of them and then just kind of had one for extra gear. And the large FHF Synergy bag, we have a bunch of random stuff. Mosquito bracelets, dude wipes, extra fishing line, gear tape. I take this everywhere too. It's Gear Aid tenacious tape. The Leatherman, that always comes with me. So, a bunch of random stuff in there. And this one is the FHF, it's their Dyneema, their new Dyneema bags. I had like my liquids in there, so sunscreen, essential, this bug lotion. I had bug wipes and bug spray I left with my guide for him and his family to use. Lens spray, and then like shampoo and body wash. In this one, we have a bunch of extra fishing stuff. So, some soft baits for the spin rod, 25-pound tippet, our extra braid, some swivels, extra leader, that type of stuff. Our little tackle box. There's not much left. The Pyara did a number on my tackle, and even the peacock bass did. If there's anything that I would suggest if you're going to another country to fish like this, even if you're bringing a small amount of tackle, like triple it, just triple it. The Pyara took so many flies from me. I came back with very few flies. This thing's a mess right now, so I'm not even gonna really dive into it, but Rapalas and topwater baits worked well, but spent most of the time with big streamers like a mullet streamer and green, brown, or red and yellow, red and black, all good colors. Stone Glacier rain gear, the M5 series. I had my rain jacket with me and used it a couple times. I never used the pants, but I threw them in just because I had room. I had a lot of extra room. I wasn't hurting for room or on weight, so that was kind of nice. My reel for my Reddington crosswater, it was just in a hard case in the bottom of the bag. So one thing that I could have done better was sinking line. I had intermediate line that Derv brought for me, but I had floating line, and that was good for poppers. But next time I go, I'm gonna take 2 reels, one with floating line, and 2 reels for each fly rod, that is, because hopefully by then I'll have more fly rods to bring. But 2 reels for each fly rod, one with floating, one with sinking, to get down faster. I was having to wait just a little bit longer than I would like to have to start stripping, and then the boat would have moved along a little bit and didn't have a great mend in a lot of the times. But Chacos were my shoe of choice. They say bring Crocs for a reason. I got blisters bad at Pyara camp walking around on all the rocks with these, and my feet are in winter mode here in Montana. Usually my feet are fine in Chacos in the summer bombing around, but did a number on my feet. I'll be investing in some neoprene booties or maybe even some Crocs here because of that. The old faithful duct tape. Don't leave home without that very often, so I was happy to have that. This here is a little finger extension. Might seem pretty simple, but when you get a big fish on, it saves you from getting burnt. So I had that as an extension with my gloves. Kevin brought that, thanks to him. I have long fingers, so those gloves weren't long enough. So tape, electrician tape works fine. I had that with me as well, but yeah, I think that's everything. Oh, GoPro chest harness, didn't use that. Pretty much everything I brought, I would bring again. Maybe a little lighter on the clothes though. I overpacked the clothes a little bit, but hard knowing, not knowing. So we had an awesome time down there in the jungle, caught a lot of big fish, got both species we went after down there. So yeah, if you got any questions about any other things pertaining to going fishing in the jungle, flying with camera gear, photography in general, let me know, hit me up, and have a great day.